Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a thumbs up, by leaving a comment, by writing a comment, subscribing. That's also the other one that people always say in their videos. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Welcome back to another, I guess you can call it news I miss. It's a bit of a mix between all the things, because once again, there's always a lot of stuff happening within the cryptocurrency space. And without further ado, let's finally jump into it. Ethereum and Chainlink have hit a new all-time high. They are not the only coins. There are many coins in the cryptocurrency market right now that are pumping. Bitcoin is still around 47,400 something or other, so 1,550 lower than its all-time high of, I don't know why I did that, of $49,000. But the altcoins continue to move even as Bitcoin is going like sideways up. So Bitcoin's up by like 1% or something like that, but the other altcoins are up by like 7%, 14%, 29%, not even fake numbers. It is actually kind of crazy to see. The world's second largest cryptocurrency, Ethereum, has hit a new all-time high of 1,868 US dollars, surging an additional 5.5% today. The overall cryptocurrency market has shot to 1.5 trillion, and altcoins continue to show dominating behavior. It's quite fascinating to see. We knew that this was all. We knew that this was going to happen. We knew that alt season was going to get here eventually, and it usually happens after Bitcoin shoots up, and then the altcoins go, "Hey, I want to do the exact same thing," and that's kind of where we are right now. Litecoin has shot past $200 to touch a new 35-month high. That is very specific. I think its previous all-time high was 360. I keep having that number in my head. I think that's where it was before. Litecoin isn't normally in the news. We don't get a lot of Litecoin news, and when we do and when we have, it's typically been stuff for like Mimble-Wimble. But it's very popular. I saw another article. I don't know if they love Litecoin or what it is. It was something along the lines of like, Litecoin is showing golden cross signals and looks like it's going to be trying to hit 700 or 800. And I'm like, sure, eventually I think it'll get there. I don't think Litecoin is disappearing anytime soon. So I do expect to have price gains and increases, especially over the next year or two, if we continue with this popularity of the cryptocurrency space, which we will, which we're going to get into in a couple of seconds. But yes, Litecoin is going up as well. And of course, can't get away from it. It says Bitcoin bull's eye $50,000 as data shows Bitcoin's liquid supply in steady decline. We've had news like this for I don't know how many weeks. I hope everyone's been paying attention and has really been understanding exactly what all of this means. The amount of Bitcoin that's actually out there for people to buy typically sits only on cryptocurrency exchanges. This is usually a metric. It's not even a very good metric because there are a lot of people who do use crypto exchanges as an alternative holding position. So let's say you have, I don't know, 1,000 Ethereum. You put 200 here, 200 here, 200 here. So there are people who actually use cryptocurrency exchanges as a place to hold their crypto as like a just in case kind of thing. But usually we get the metric as like a, this is what the cryptocurrency exchange owns or they're currently holding. And as we see the amount of crypto decreasing on there, people go, well, that's bullish because people are taking their coins off. But the news that we've been getting has been, yeah, people are taking their coins off, but it's like the, big 38,000 chunks of a coin are leaving these exchanges. So I still think that there's less than 1 million actual Bitcoin available for everyone out there. Some people may disagree. It doesn't really matter. I know people who are also trading. Hello. And they use Bitcoin as like their actual metric, but like that, they never go below the initial amount of Bitcoin that they had. And any extra, they kind of swipe it off the top to be able to put it into another address. So once again, still getting news that Bitcoin is poised, moving up to 50,000 US dollars. Of course it is. Of course, we know logically that Bitcoin is going to pass 50,000 in $1. That's definitely going to happen, but we keep getting all the news that it's, it's like 38,000 things. When you see the news that we're going to be reading about in like a little smidge, it'll become evident that Bitcoin should be around $128,000 because of all the nonsense that's actually going on. Anyway, altcoins are rising. Bitcoin's going up sideways. The amount of Bitcoin on cryptocurrency exchanges continues to decrease. I'm sure it's all Grayscale and MicroStrategy buying up huge amounts of the coin. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Or let's move on. Let's moving on? Let us is moving on. I'm going to click the next tab. What is this one? Oh, yeah. This is also news that's been floating around a lot as well. It says over $1 billion in stablecoins are sidelined, waiting to push Bitcoin to $100,000. So this is a bit of an interesting theory. Wow. The idea being, and we've had this idea before, that when stablecoins are minted or created or printed, that they are done so through investors behind the scenes who are giving money to the stablecoin company who tell them to print more because they see a rise in demand for their product. Oh, I said it perfectly. Look at me. Good job. So the idea is that we've been seeing a huge amount of creation of stablecoins over the last couple of months. And historically, we've seen that these coins kind of wait on the sides, if you will, for a perfect price point to be able to get into Bitcoin or into Ethereum or into any other coin, and then they kind of attack and they rush in at the exact same time, and then the coins ends up going up and yada yada yada. I saw this over the last week. I didn't pay much attention to it because not that it seemed logical, but I guess everyone's coming to the exact same conclusion kind of thing. Like remember when we were at $11,000 per Bitcoin and everyone was like 14,000 is the number. We got to pass by 14,000. We got to get to 14,000. And we got to like 13,800. And I was like, oh gosh, just pass. And we passed by 14,000 and then shot up to 16, 17, 18, 19, 21 and kept on going from there. So this is kind of the exact same feeling, if you will, that's been floating around. We'll see if it happens. Allegedly, there's a whole bunch of stablecoins waiting to be pushed into our market, but I guess they're waiting for a good price point or they're waiting for the average. I'm not exactly sure what, but sure. I'll take it. Any bullish news is good for me. And let's move on. So here's where the ridiculous news begins. Once again, Bitcoin should be well over 100,000 US dollars at this point. We forget quite easily how many institutions, how many companies, how many hedge funds, how many conglomerates, how many are all getting into the cryptocurrency space who always explicitly state out loud that they're going to buy Bitcoin. I get really annoyed, not from this article or any other one in this video, but I get annoyed sometimes when we get news that this bank is getting into it or this is happening or they just bought 1.5 billion and our price spikes and then pulls back a tiny bit. There are tons of articles, written all over the place, not just even within the cryptocurrency space, who usually say like, well, that didn't last long. It seems it was a pump and then a dump. And it's like, no, you morons. Like when the market gets too hot, there are going to be people who take profit. So that's just kind of one thing. It's that the market doesn't always reflect the exact amount of news that we're getting, even though it should. Whenever we get these, Bitcoin should be at $1 million right now because we know that Bitcoin is going to be around for a very long time. The largest banks, the largest institutions have all come out and said, yes, Bitcoin could be something that gets rid of gold. And then that got changed to, well, Bitcoin, people actually selling off their gold to buy into Bitcoin. And then it became, hey, you know what? We hated it before. Now we're going to buy it. You know what? Bitcoin's actually kind of cool, so we're going to custody it. You know what? We're going to offer it to our clients. And this is kind of the thing that keeps going, but I think people see it and they go, well, you know what? That's cool. One more brick to add to our Bitcoin wall or Bitcoin building, whatever people are building with bricks these days. Not realizing that we now have, I'm going to use the C word. We now have confirmation that all these banks and all these institutions are going to be using it, which once again tells us, and I mentioned this before when pension funds were like, yeah, we're also getting into Bitcoin. They're not buying the Bitcoin for a 1 or 2 year hold. They're buying it for a 4 to 100 year hold. They're buying it for longevity for the people who are investing in these investment funds. So when they retire in 30 to 40 years that they have allocations of Bitcoin. Keep all of that in mind. Bitcoin is incredibly undervalued, even though we know or have ascertained or have come to the conclusion that Bitcoin is going to be around for a very, 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 very long time. Now, this is where we jump into the actual news thing because I needed to give you that context just to let you really understand exactly what's going on. According to its co-president, JP Morgan will start supporting Bitcoin when there is enough demand for the cryptocurrency. I'm going to call... Is the word shenanigans? The word isn't shenanigans. I'm going to call their bluff. I think that's more of an accurate one. Basically, because you, as a mega bank, don't simply go on to CNBC and ABC and simply say, well, we're thinking of it. Should there be demand? No. You're announcing this because there is demand, because you've had so many clients who have messaged you and they've said, listen, we asked you about Bitcoin when it was around $8,000. You said don't get into it because it was garbage. Bitcoin's currently near $50,000. Why don't you offer this? Why is this not a project? I promise you, that's exactly what it is. JP Morgan Chase was one of the banks, along with Jamie Dimon many years ago, who made sure to announce that Bitcoin was garbage, Bitcoin was trash. You can find the articles, 2015, 16, 17. They went so hard, so adamant as to why Bitcoin was garbage, and now they've simply had a little U-turn, and they're like, you know what? We're thinking of adding this garbage to our platform. No, they've understood for a while, and I'm going to show you that they've understood for a while as well. And also, the entire idea is no. All of their clients, I know their clients have been going to them, and they're like, why did you not tell us that this thing was going to go this high? And they actually also did, which we're also going to get into in a couple of seconds. Investors want to get their hands on Bitcoin, and the big banks are already considering supporting the cryptocurrency so as not to be left behind. After a remarkable price recovery, Bitcoin seems to have stood the test of time, proving to naysayers who cares, yada yada. According to information gathered by financial journalist Hugh Sun, JP Morgan, the largest investment bank in the United States, may be throwing its weight around as it contemplates the possibility of supporting cryptocurrency operations if demand continues to increase. No, they know that they're going to support it. They know that they are going. JP Morgan, everything they do is calculated. JP Morgan's not going on TV talking about the possibility of them accepting Tron or Dogecoin or some other thing. They know that the demand is there. They have to figure out a way to properly integrate it, because they probably took too long to actually do the entire thing. Don't forget, 2 years ago, JP Morgan Chase and about 5 other banks came forward talking about that they were going to be creating their own coins. Notice how we hear no news about that. There were 2 or 3 other banks the last couple of months who announced that quietly, that they were basically scrapping the idea for their bank's coin, because one, I told you no one was going to use these things. The idea was every bank would have their own coin. One, stupid. And the idea would be that they would have to make a system that was interoperable with every other bank so that they could actually swap fees back and forth around. Why would they be able to do that? That's why the news that we had a couple of weeks ago that the U.S. comptroller of the currency allowed... Talking too fast. The U.S. comptroller of the currency had allowed all banks within the United States to also hold stablecoins. I assume behind the scenes they know that they can't make a coin, or it's not going to happen quick enough, but there are other established coins that they can simply buy into, put money into, have the backing of whatever that, and these are going to be the coins that will eventually act as the new US dollar. I can feel it. I pretty much can kind of see it. The entire point is JP Morgan Chase announced that they are allegedly considering getting involved with Bitcoin. They already are. I know they are. We know they are. They've been saying this for how long? Jamie Dimon has gone on stage. He flipped from it's terrible, it's garbage, to my child owns it. I don't know if it was his son or his daughter. Doesn't really matter. Till like, well, it's not that terrible, and we could potentially see it rising very far in value. So this is why I'm talking about why it's undervalued, because it's no longer a speculative thing as far as like, well, we hope one day that, big money will get into the market. No, they're here. They're already buying. They're buying secretly. If you don't know what a shell company is, think of, they know ways to mask how they are putting their money around the world. Do you think they have not figured out ways to be able to acquire Bitcoin without the public actually knowing? I mean, it's just complete Anyway, here's the CNBC news report. It says, feeling the heat from employees, Wall Street banks are getting closer to adopting Bitcoin. They don't even have a toe in the door. They have their entire body inside the house already. JP Morgan will offer Bitcoin trading if there is client demand, which there is, which there most certainly is. And probably what they're trying to figure out is if they have enough demand so that people will actually use their platform. That's what it comes down to. They need to make sure that if, as one of the largest banks on the planet, that if they announce or launch something, that it doesn't become a failure. Like, I don't want to say like Backed, but remember there were a couple of months where people, like, the trading volume on Backed was just zero. Now imagine a bank who is not supposed to be getting into Bitcoin, not supposed to be touching it. Bitcoin's garbage. Bitcoin is trash. Bitcoin is meant to unearth. What's unearth? Displace banks. Now imagine that bank caving in and saying, hey, we're going to accept it. We're going to deal with it. We're going to so and so and so. Add it onto their platform, but then nobody uses that platform because they're like, we don't like your banking system. Anyway, JP Morgan will get into Bitcoin at some point, says co-president. I'm sure. For those of you who don't know, and why I'm being quite cynical right now, is because we got indications before from a number of banks who came forward. No. There was basically news that got leaked to us from big banks as to where Bitcoin's price was going to go. And I was like, that's interesting. They don't like us, but they're talking to their biggest clients about how high Bitcoin could go. For those of you not looking at the screen, this is from the 21st of December. I went on a long walk yesterday, and it's like minus 11 here, not a fake number. And I think that affected me. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. December 21st of last year, JP Morgan reports suggest Bitcoin could reach a price of $650,000 US. Why would JP Morgan be releasing information like that unless and if, say it with me. Yeah, that one too. Yeah, see, it makes a lot of sense, right? Of course they know how high Bitcoin's going to go, because I'm going to assume that they probably have been in it since 2014, just like the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, who I think also slipped with that information as well. In 2019, for those of you who weren't here, the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange basically came forward and they were like, first, you can find the articles. You can find the articles. They both said that the head of the New York Stock Exchange and the head of the NASDAQ said that they believe that Bitcoin is going to be a world currency. You can find it. Type in world currency NASDAQ, world currency New York Stock Exchange. We went over it on the channel. You can definitely find it. And they also slipped when they were like, yeah, we're going to be getting into Bitcoin products and Bitcoin exchanges and Bitcoin futures and yada, yada. And I think they were like, yeah, we've actually been monitoring the market since 2014. Interesting, right? Understand that Bitcoin is here to stay. I just hope that everyone has assessed their portfolio correctly and they understand that there are maybe certain assets that should be a part of their portfolio. Anyway, it's terrible today. Jeez Louise. I think it's because I'm like floating all over the place. That's the JP Morgan news. Can you guess what's next? Anybody? Anyone? Okay, we'll see you in a couple seconds. Next up, sometimes it pays to actually read the report. In a December report by the World Economic Forum entitled Crypto, What is it good for? An overview of cryptocurrency use cases, WEF presents details from Deutsche Bank about a proof of concept for cryptocurrency custody. The report, pointed out by CoinDesk, demonstrates the bank's desire to expand its product offerings. The proposed digital asset custody platform is split into 4 phases. The first is to provide custody to institutional investors, such as asset managers, rich people, yada, yada. The second will move beyond building crypto to allow buying and selling via brokers and exchanges. So we got the custody and we got the buying and the selling. In the subsequent phases, Deutsche Bank will add services around these coin offerings, from tax accounting to staking, tokens on blockchain platforms, and then ultimately trading and token issuance. I'm going to bring it back for a second. JP Morgan Chase and Deutsche Bank have announced they are getting into Bitcoin. We know for a fact that at least Deutsche Bank is. We can assume based on logic that JP Morgan Chase is probably going to do the exact same thing. Bringing it back again. Deutsche Bank, in their phases, they plan on allowing trading of cryptocurrencies on their platform. Got it? Token issuance, which is probably going to mean the issuance of stablecoins, or they're probably already working on thinking of trying to get into the DeFi space. It won't really be that DeFi because it's a bank creating it, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure they're going to have forays into trying creating apps and dApps and video games and stuff like that, also based on blockchain technology. Tax accounting. Not many people like it, but interesting fact. The idea that taxes will also become a lot easier through a cryptocurrency space, especially if you're doing it all through one thing, they can see exactly where all the things are going. Interesting. Staking. When WHEN, Deutsche Bank announces in the future, I'm going to give it 2 years, that they are adding Polkadot, Ethereum, EOS, and Cardano to their platforms. Don't say I didn't tell you this. They're thinking of adding staking capabilities to their platform, which means the exact same thing I was saying before. One of the main value prospecti for Ethereum right now, this is why we keep seeing, Grayscale purchased $100 million worth of Ethereum yesterday. Why might they be doing that? It's for the passive income. I told you all that before. If you have any friends who don't understand how big the cryptocurrency space is and you want them to see exactly how ridiculous I am as I'm flailing my arms around, send them this video. Because so many people, it's difficult. It's difficult sometimes because I know that a lot of you have been talking to your friends or have been trying to get your friends into the cryptocurrency space. They just don't get it. It doesn't really click into their head. Let them get it. Send them this video. Let them understand exactly all of this because I guess we're going over a lot in just one video. All of these things that are going to be offered, all of these things that are going to be had, Ethereum is going to be used as a main passive income source. When you talk about Ethereum is currently at $1,800. People are talking about it's going between $10,000 to $30,000 in the next year or two. What happens when you have tons of Ethereum and you don't understand that the world is changing before our very eyes. We are going to live in a world where if you own Bitcoin, you are part of the elite. That is not even a joke. We see it happening. Why would these banks and hedge funds and institutions be getting into it otherwise? Why would they be doing that? Do you think these banks are trying to wait for Bitcoin to rise by 5% and go, yeah, we did it, guys. We made 5% on our money? Why do you think JP Morgan Chase is saying that next year Bitcoin is going to $650,000? If that's next year, imagine in 20 years how high Bitcoin's price is going to be. We are going to live in a world where everything is going to be automated. Cryptocurrencies and smart contracts and DeFi platforms are going to be automated, computers, and they're going to rule the entire world. They're going to be the new wave of finance. People who are getting into the cryptocurrency space and have been into the cryptocurrency space, who are acquiring as they should, these platforms that do explode and do become the new world, whatever, you will not have to work again because you are holding certain cryptocurrencies. Not only because you have a lot of money, but because of the staking. Imagine getting $85,000 in passive income in 5 to 10 years, just randomly because you are holding a certain cryptocurrency. It's going to happen. It's happening right now. There are tons of people who are already staking their coins and making money every single day. Like actually every single day, because we live in the future and it's no longer this like every 3 or 4 months, like with dividends and stocks. You can get paid out every single day on these platforms. So the point is, yes. Oh gosh, I remember reading through part of this. It was like 85 pages. So this is why I guess I missed the part with Deutsche Bank. Allegedly, according to this article or this thing that they put out from the World Economic Forum, Deutsche Bank is looking to get into the cryptocurrency space, and they're going to be offering all of these things. Understand, when Bitcoin gets to $250,000 and the US dollar has crumbled, don't tell anyone that you did not know. You never told me. You know how many friends and family members, it annoys me. Why didn't you tell me about Bitcoin? Why didn't you tell me about the crypto? Dude, I would have totally put money into it. No, you wouldn't have. Because I told you about Bitcoin a long time ago. And nobody listened. No one listened. One of my first videos on this channel was the guy from, I don't know this guy's name. From Virgin Megastore, Virgin Airlines, whatever this guy's name is. He had a meeting on a secret island that he owned with Bitcoin developers and creators and stuff like that. People who work on the code. This was 2014, 2015. And I was like, no one else got that? Like, what in the world is going on? Bitcoin was like $200 or something at that point. I was like, I feel like more people should be looking into this. No, it's a fad. It's going to go away. Nobody's going to use it. Digital money? That's crazy. Look at where we are now. The banks who are supposed to be who's supposed to be terrified of Bitcoin are integrating it to all of their platforms. So anyway, that's Deutsche Bank. That's JP Morgan. Here's another article. Deutsche Bank quietly plans to offer crypto custody, prime brokerage. Don't forget about the news that we had earlier last year about all the German banks. First of all, German banks were allowed to buy, sell, hold, and trade cryptocurrencies. I think they had to put in a letter or something like that to the big banks or whatever it was, and 40 banks on the first day, 40 banks on the first day that they were allowed to do so had put in applications. 40. And after that, we got no more news because maybe we just, maybe it was hush hush after that point. 40 banks on the first day. Now Deutsche Bank is getting into cryptocurrency. Like we know this is happening. We like, you can click. I'm not going to click on this. I don't like clicking on random links. If you click on this link, you can actually see the article. Like, it's a whole long thing that the WEF wrote. So that's JP Morgan. That's Deutsche Bank. In Colombia, the entity managed by the Ministry of Finance and Public Credit, the Financial Superintendents of Colombia, has revealed the authorization of alliances between Colombian banks and digital currency exchanges. Well, that sounds quite familiar. Doesn't it seem a little weird that Bitcoin is still under $50,000? So far, Colombia's financial department has approved 9 partnerships between exchanges and national banks in order to make cryptocurrency operations more accessible to citizens. Should I read any more? Do I have to read any more? No? Okay, good. Remember this one? Anybody remember this one? Citibank announced, I believe this was last year. This was last year. Citibank announced that Bitcoin could rocket to $300,000 by the end of this year. This was also news that was leaked to us because what happens is that these mega banks are talking to their clients, and their clients get the information. They go to the board meetings, a digital Zoom, whatever is happening during the future, and somebody leaks stuff to us. And these are the things that have been leaked. Imagine the other 900 articles and PDFs that we just haven't seen about where all this market is going to go. And why we keep seeing, $30, $40, $50 million purchases from Grayscale every single week. Kind of weird, right? It's almost as if rich people know something is happening. If only we had that same information. If only every single day I brought people the information about what was happening. But no, that's nonsense. We'll never be able to get that information. We're just common folk. Anyway, so yes, Citibank's also a massively gigantimous bank. I want everybody to know that, like, this is crazy. How anyone could not understand what is taking place. And I've had conversations with people, and I know that I have certain friends do not care about, not that they don't care about money. Finance does nothing to them. I tried chatting with a friend yesterday about the entire Wall Street bets thing, and she was like, yeah, oh wow, money? Oh, that's crazy. Wow. So people made money? Wow. And when things like that happen, between me and my best friend, if we hear that someone has made like a tremendous amount of money, we become like raging bulls, and we're like, where did they do it? How can we make the exact same money? So I know that there are people who just don't get it, who don't understand, who don't care. A lot of people don't care that the US dollar is being devalued, that the euro is garbage, and many other currencies around the world are also completely failing at the exact same time. But for those who do care, for people who are into stocks, who are into passive income, who are into real estate, you know how much real estate you could have purchased? Listen to this. The future price predictions for Ethereum are $10,000 to $30,000 per coin. Wait for it. In 2017, Ethereum was $6 a coin. Can you imagine $6 to $30,000? Imagine if you had put $1,000 into Ethereum. Imagine you had put $1,000 into Bitcoin. Where all of this is going. Anyway, so yeah, that's another major bank who came forward and is basically, I'm so tired of hearing about these banks being like, we're thinking of the possibility of potentially maybe trying to Stop it. Like, we all know what's happening at this point. Like, it's just, I don't know if they have to say it for non-disclosure agreement, whatever, but it's at this point, it's abundantly clear. Why would a bank, listen, imagine you have some type of, I don't even say insider information. You have some type of information that lets you know that for some reason, this rock on the ground is going to be worth $9 bajillion next year. You're just going to tell your friend about it, but also not invest in that rock as well? Does it make sense that a bank whose job it is to make money would tell their clients, hey, $300,000 to $650,000, get into it, and the bank not do it themselves? Doesn't make a lot of sense, right? It's why I got to say allegedly, but, you know, we can assume based off of logic what the banks are actually doing. Oh, gosh. And also, for those of you who missed the news yesterday, it says Bitcoin is coming to the America's oldest bank, BNY Mellon. They're going to have cryptocurrency and Bitcoin custody. And assumption in 2 years, also cryptocurrency trading on their platform because everyone else is going to do it. Yeah, that's all the bank news. There's actually more, but I couldn't fit it all into this video. And let's move on. If you don't get it now, like, I'm sorry. There's the door. Like there's an actual, please have a good day. I tip my hat to you because I don't know what else to say if you don't get it by this point. All the banks have announced that they're getting into Bitcoin. They're into Bitcoin. They're going to be buying or custodying or selling or trading or have a cryptocurrency exchange. These are the largest banks on the planet. Remember what I said about the domino effect? Remember what I said when Tesla was like, hey, we purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin? I said, okay, that means every other business who wants to be like Tesla is going to do the exact same thing. Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh. That's crazy. What? I totally didn't see that one coming. Bitcoin is making a huge mark on the financial industry as of late. This is potentially due to the recent activity from Tesla, who purchased $1.5 billion. General Motors, one of Tesla's biggest competitors, has now come out to say that while it won't be investing in the digital asset anytime soon, stop it, it will closely monitor customer demand and will consider allowing items to be purchased through its company with Bitcoin in the future. Oh, boy. So, yeah, General Motors has dipped their gigantic toe into the cryptocurrency space. I find it funny that after Tesla was like, yeah, we got it. Yeah, we got some Bitcoin. What happened? You want some too? That about 8 other companies came forward and they're like, yeah, we're not gonna add it to our files just yet, but we are considering the possibility of maybe offering it as a way for people to pay for our cars. Oh, that's funny because you didn't mention that before Tesla. So Tesla had to. Okay, cool, got it. Anyway, not gonna even go into it. That's the General Motors news. General Motors has no interest in following Tesla and investing in Bitcoin. I want to say something so bad. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. The point is, they're considering allowing people to be able to use Bitcoin as a payment option. Oh, boy. You all know what I want to say. Yeah, that one. Anyway, that's the General Motors news. And let's move on. In mega, ultra, super awesome, gigantimous, popular news, the CEO of Twitter, his name is Jack Dorsey, has just announced that he and Jay-Z have set aside 500 Bitcoin to fund Bitcoin development. The funds, with a current approximate value of $24 million, will be an endowment trust aptly named BTrust. That is the Bitcoin symbol and then trust, but it's all the same word, so I'm calling it BTrust. Furthermore, the trust will be geared towards funding Bitcoin development teams in Africa and in India. Mr. Dorsey also explained that the trust will be blind, irrevocable trust, whereby neither he nor Jay-Z will provide input as to its direction. The trust currently needs 3 additional board members. You want to talk about popular news? And I mean like I could not get away from this, no matter how hard. And it's not that I was even running away from it. I saw 3 links and I was like, oh, that's good. That's nice of them. That's absolutely wonderful. Every website had this and they wouldn't stop. So this is great. We've had news before from Dorsey that he believes that Africa is a major hotspot for crypto and could become the biggest crypto hub in the entire world. And I guess the other news is that Jay-Z is also into Bitcoin. I could have told you that one. I don't even know Jay-Z. Never met the guy. But I can logically assume him and his wife are billionaires, so they probably had a little smidge of Bitcoin somewhere. You know, donating, if you donate, logic, if you donate 250 Bitcoin to make 500, you probably got a lot more than just 500 Bitcoin floating around. I don't think him and Beyonce are like, well, we have one left. Let's hope it works, Jay. I really hope we make money from this. Anyway, cool. Let's see where this goes. Let's see how this develops. I have nothing really more to say about this other than good. Spread the wealth. Make sure that other people in other continents also know about everything that's going on. Let's see where this goes. Kinda cool. Let's move on. Next up, Travala travel firm. That's a weird name. Travala travel firm, a crypto-friendly website, has become the first dealer to integrate Binance Pay into its payment methods. The website, which was launched on the 3rd of February, is looking to use new applications to enhance prospective travelers' bookings. The Binance Pay app integration is still in the beta stage, but it will allow users to use the new payment method to book travel products. These travel products include hotels, houses, flights, etc., according to a recent publication. Cool. I'm pretty sure Travala was also pretty crypto-y before. The point is they're adding Binance Pay. Cool. I'm not selling any of my crypto for a very long time. I don't think anybody's also going to be doing the same, but I like the idea that in the future, I'll be able to use my crypto to travel around the world. That's kind of nice. Maybe I'll use Travala. Anyway, that's the Travala news. Didn't expect to hear me say the word Travala so many times today. What's this one? Bitcoin's hash rate. The market value of Bitcoin and other things popped up because of Tesla, Elon Musk. Bitcoin's price surged to a new record. They put 1.5 billion. Meanwhile, amidst the growth of Bitcoin, there's a noticeable increase in the Bitcoin hash rate. According to blockchain, Bitcoin hash rate has climbed to another all-time high of 158.94 million terahashes. That sounds like a lot. The network hash rate increased significantly after dropping to 446 million terahashes on the 3rd of February, which means more miners went active on the network within that period. An increase in the hash rate means Bitcoin's network is now more secure and resilient to attacks. Wonderful. No one should be surprised. I can only assume that Bitcoin's hash rate is going to climb higher as more people plug in their machines to get low fragments of the coins as they pop out of the, the network. So yeah, cool. Bitcoin's hash rate is up. You know what I haven't checked? I haven't checked how much Bitcoin's current transaction fees are. We've been getting like a lot of Ethereum transaction fee news, but nothing for Bitcoin. It has to be over like $20 at this point. I don't know. Anyway, that's the hash rate news. What's this one? Oh, and to finish things off, after hitting a new all-time high of 48,000, actually hit 49,000, the market cap of Bitcoin has surpassed the total market cap of the Russian ruble. What? According to data from Asset Dash, Bitcoin's market cap is 871 billion at the time of publication. This exceeds the monetary supply of the Russian ruble, which as of January was estimated to be 58 trillion rubles, currently valued at 791 billion US dollars. So Bitcoin has passed the value of the Russian ruble. To be fair, listen, stop it. We had news a couple of days ago that Dogecoin had done the exact same thing. So Bitcoin passed by its market cap, but I think Dogecoin passed by the actual value of the Russian ruble per unit. So that's not good. I mean, it's good for us, but it's not good for their currency. Anyway, that's the Russian ruble news because we seem to be getting a lot of it. I guess, it's kind of like, what's it called? Easy pickings. If you can say, hey, that currency wasn't good before and Bitcoin and cryptocurrency keeps passing by it, well, then it's going to make it into the news and it's happening. Yay! Bitcoin. as always, see, Bitcoin's going like sideways up. Just go to 50 so we can all live our best lives. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University. My newest patron, VB Nerd 21. Miguel Grolet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Barebones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Need a Miracle, Crypto Stahl, George Montoya, Wiselink, Not TMI, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolek Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Oscar Maldonado, Utopia 569, Moonman High, Zerp, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Grasick, Mo Hamaroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Knight Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold D3D, Damien Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jamie Fox, Minton Coins, Miller, Hishtest Everyday, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Buddy McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mark's Corner Staff, Arf Medic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger and Macho Nisa on Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very much for your support. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. There are new ones every single day. I cannot thank thee enough. I tip. I'm doing whatever rich people do when they do like this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing some type of a movement. Thank you all very much. Thank you to everyone who has liked the video, who has left a comment, who has left multiple comments. Some people do that. Some people just write algo, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Thank you to everyone who is a clicker of affiliate links. Thank you to everyone who has been along for this ride with me. It's been a wild, long, ridiculous journey, and we're not done yet. Remember, $200,000, $300,000, $600,000 Bitcoin next year, so saith the banks. So it is, I believe we have good times ahead, as they say. At the moment, Bitcoin is at $47,439.32 for 26 US dollars. It is up by 0.47%. Ethereum is at $1,830, up by 4%. Cardano sitting at 91 cents. It's waiting desperately. I'm waiting desperately. Dude, wasn't it like 98 cents a couple days ago or something like that? And it is like a smidge away from Tether. Can we just pass by Tether at this point just so we can, XRP's up by 6%. No XRP news. It could. I think something happening. I think something is happening behind the scenes that we won't hear about for the next couple of weeks. Because XRP's price it's not pumping. XRP's price isn't going up by 38% a day. It's going up by a good 4, 5, 6, 7% per day, which leads me to believe it's like a constant accumulation that's happening behind the scenes, but it's nothing like hypey. Nothing like, pumping 38% a day and then falling back down by 24. So we'll see. Polkadot is up by 18%. Coin just keeps on rising. Litecoin is up by 11%. Lumens is up by 26%. I wonder why. The news that we had from Lumens before was that a bank was going to be, I think, using their blockchain to issue stablecoins or something like that. Maybe, I don't think that would constitute a 26% rise. I mean, in general. Like, look at all the news that we had for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's like slightly up. So I think these numbers should flip, but that's also my philosophy idea. Chainlink is up by 12%. Dogecoin is up. Dogecoin is number 12. Good boy. I mean, like what more can you say than, good? Go for it. Live your best life. It's up by 3%. EOS is up by 10%. Also kind of a question mark, like why are you up? Kind of thing. Still no voice news. Bitcoin Cash is finally coin number 18. Can it just go to coin number 1,000 so we can be done with it? Because I'm tired of even looking at that coin. Monero's up by 8. Tezos is up by 16. IOTA's up by 18%. And there's no 19%. There's no IOTA news. I don't understand what's happening. VJ Thor is up by 22%. And I can feel it. I know there's going to be one person in the comment section who's going to be like, actually, there's tons of IOTA news, because it happens quite often. There was one coin that went up by like 36%. There was no mainstream crypto news. And they were like, actually, there are 9.5 other upgrades that are happening within this week, and they're getting staking, and they're getting this, and they're also being flown out to Montenegro because they're buying an island. And I was like, okay, I got it. I'm sorry for not knowing all of that illustrious information. Neo's up by 5%. Algo Rand is up by 15%. Dash is up by 34%. Can you imagine in a perfect world where we got news that mega companies and banks are buying, integrating, and going to be custodying Bitcoin, that Bitcoin actually went up by 35%? Wouldn't that be kind of nice if logic were real? Zcash is up by 14%. UMA's up by 3%, and Zilliqa, the coin we talk about every day, the coin that's being integrated by banks and Tesla and all the other stuff, Zilliqa, up by 24%. I do hope you all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.